All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's been a little bit since I've been on YouTube Live. Wanted to jump on today to talk about the market because the market is shifting and a lot of people don't know it yet. A lot of sellers, a lot of buyers, a lot of real estate agents, to be completely honest, a lot of loan officers probably too, do not understand that the market with this latest shift in interest rates and because of the time of year that we're in, where post 4th of July holiday, demand generally slows down anyway. With that being, some seasonality that happens every single year in real estate, up markets, down markets, sideways markets, there's seasonality where there's more buyers during some parts of the season and there's less during others. More people list their homes during the spring, less people list their homes during the fall. Like taking all that into consideration and then pouring a little bit of, I don't know what you want to call it, rain on the parade of demand is this latest tick up in interest rates. Here's the good news. If you're a buyer in this market, Q3 and Q4 of 2023 are going to present many, many more opportunities than we saw in Q1 or Q2. I'm already seeing it. Open houses have slowed down. Sellers who are getting 8 offers are now getting 2 and 3. This will continue to throttle back. Buyers some have stepped out of the market. Others have had to look at different price points. And so, the latest rates ticking above 7 will most likely have the same effect that it had last November and December, at least in most markets. And, different price points will behave differently. But for the vast majority of you who have been in markets that just felt weird, where prices are up, rates are up, but still it's hyper competitive and it's hard to get your offers accepted, now you're going to be presented an opportunity, whether you're paying attention or not, whether you're doing the work or not, is going to mean whether or not you capitalize on this opportunity. So here's my advice. And I'd love for you to fire away questions. I used to do, an hour every single Monday, answer as many questions as I could. Today, I'm probably only popping on here to give a little bit of advice and then pop off. But my advice to you as a buyer is to look at the neighborhood you're buying in. Talk to your real estate agent about, hey, I know things were all selling within 7 days, Look at July stats when July ends. Were homes selling at a little bit slower of a pace? Were they staying on the market for 10, 11, 15, 17 days? No doubt this is all coming. I'm just giving you the information in advance because most things, when you get the data, that's a lagging indicator. When you get the data for July, whenever that comes out in August, or whenever a nationwide publication takes it and talks about it in September, I'm already seeing it. I'm already feeling it. I'm already talking to real estate agents and buyers with boots on the ground. And I can tell you, if you get in a situation like we're in last November and December, listings started to sit. As the buyer, you started getting a little bit more leverage. You were starting to write amazing offers that would do things like seller credit to cover a 2-1 buy down. Some people use the seller credit to cover closing costs. Some people used it for a permanent buy down. Whatever the case, you're going to have some more flexibility. With that flexibility, have a great real estate agent and lender on your team, if you're a buyer, that knows how to take advantage of these things, that knows how to sit you down and say, you know what? We've been looking at 500,000. Here's what your budget looks like. Here's what the rate looks like. If we didn't buy it down at all, what if we're able to get them to agree to not only sell you the house for $495, but with $14,000 in seller credit? We could use this much of it for a 2-1 buy down, meaning in the first year, your interest rate is 2% lower. In the second year, it's 1% lower. Then years 3 through 30, it resorts back to that start rate. Things like that, I know they're coming. My clients for sure are going to know they're coming. My clients for sure are going to be paired with how they're going to write offers, what they're going to do to take advantage of a moment in time in the market. I remember screaming from the rooftops, and I'm going to probably scream louder this time because I remember talking to people that felt like they missed out in February or March when the market was already drastically different than it was in November and December. November and December, my clients, just about every single one of them structured a loan with a 2-1 buy down. Just about every one of them got it below ask. Just about every one of them had a pretty easy time getting the house that they liked in the neighborhood they liked. Fast forward March, April, May, June 2023, it's been ludicrous for entry-level buyers. Okay, rant over, TED Talk done. Ryan Lundquist, thanks for joining, brother. I appreciate seeing you here. It's always nice having some familiar faces. Yep, there is a temperature change. This is what we should be seeing at this time of year for the season, and rate hikes won't help either. Exactly. My point, Ryan, is that generally speaking, post 4th of July, and you know better than I do. So if you're still listening, Ryan, I'd love, for you to sprinkle a little bit more flavor on this with, some stats or just some thoughts around what it looks like post 4th of July holiday from a demand perspective, from a sales perspective, because I think this is my hope, and I'll say it out loud, kind of speak it into existence. My hope is that we continue to see homes hit the market as demand pulls back. Some of it is seasonal pullback in demand. Some of it is 7.25% interest rate, no thanks, pullback in demand. That the buyers who are active, the buyers that do want to buy, are going to have an easier time. They're not competing against 8 offers. Then, as the homes sit on the market for 10 days, 14 days, 17 days, and the seller's like, what happened? My neighbor sold their house in a weekend in 3 days back in May. They're going to either learn it by going through it, or someone's going to tell them, hey, listen, pal, July is not May. Yesterday's price is not today's price. The market's different. You don't have 8 offers competing where you get to counter 3 of them and have them continue to escalate the price they're going to pay for your house. Unfortunately, that ship has sailed, Mr. Seller. Now we got to figure out how we can get you in contract with the 1 buyer or 2 buyers that have shown interest. One offered you $480 on your $500,000 listing. The other one offered you $495 with $15K in credit. That $15K in credit is going to buy them that 2-1 buy down, pay for some of their closing costs. So that's the market that I feel with fairly good certainty we're headed into. I, for one, am stoked about it. I, for one, can't wait to get out there with buyers on the buy side, write offers that make sense. And this is something that somebody brought up in a meeting I had earlier today. This is good for the market. And what we're going to see again is win-win for buyer and seller. Over the last 3 to 6 months in a lot of markets, we've seen a win for the seller and the buyer having to settle, the buyer having to give away the farm. However you want to say it, that's been the reality at the entry level, especially where buyers can at least afford to go $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 above ask. They've had to, right? All right. Some color from Mr. Ryan Lundquist, because he is the man with the best real estate stats around. SacramentoAppraisalBlog.com. In case you want to go check out some of his stuff. His stuff is phenomenal. We typically see more price reductions, smaller homes start selling through the fall, more concessions to buyers, fewer new listings, longer days on market, lower number of sales, etc. Yeah, that's going to be the one to watch too, Ryan, is like as longer days on markets, more concessions, more price reductions. One of the things that is going to limit how much of that stuff happens is how much inventory we have. But here's something that people probably already forgot. Fewer new listings, true. Ryan expressed it here. But what we saw last fall was inventory was increasing. And you're like, how does inventory increase, meaning more homes for sale, while we're getting less new listings, new homes for sale? And I'll tell you, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, it makes all the sense in the world. If homes sell slower, it doesn't matter if less are coming on because they're continuing to pile up. Whereas they used to sell in 10 days, they're staying on the market for 14, 17, 21, 25. And so the active inventory, things that are for sale, is growing. So what's being added to the pile is less per week, less new listings. Hopefully that makes sense. Even the pea brain of mine understood that after it was explained to me, and I said, okay, it makes sense, right? So interesting time in real estate. Like most anything, when there's change occurring, when there's shifts happening, when not everybody understands what's going on, those who take the time to understand, take the time to learn, are going to win. I see an incredible amount of investors taking advantage of the fact that people are scared, they're uncertain, they don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's just in my feed or if it's for everybody, but the number of people that are coming up with creative ways to buy real estate because they know real estate is an appreciating asset with tax benefits that creates wealth long-term. No one's doubting that. But then if it gets a little bit tough, all of a sudden people are like, nah, I only like it when I can get that 3% interest rate. I only like it when it's easy. I don't want to do it if it's hard, right? A lot of people doing what's hard right now who are adding zeros to their net worth over time. So my message to you, whether you're an investor looking to add zeros, that's not everybody, or you're just a home buyer looking to get into your first house, connect yourself with a great agent, a great lender, actively educate yourself on not only your personal finances, what you can afford, to find out if it's the right time for you. It's never the market. It's the right time for you or it's not. You're financially able. You're qualified. You're comfortable. It fits into your budget. Those are questions for you. Those aren't questions to ask the real estate market as a whole. If you ask the real estate market as a whole, the time might never come. If you're looking for a 40% decrease in prices and 2.75 interest rates, you might just be renting your last home before they ship you off. So anyhow, that's my words of wisdom, my TED talk, and all of it all wrapped into one. If you want to connect me and my team, it's really easy. We're licensed in 48 states. Greatmortgagebroker.com. Fill out the form. We'll be in touch. We're closing loans every single day in Texas, Florida, Tennessee, California, Michigan, Washington, all over the place. I should have a list of like a scroll of the stuff that's funded today and last week and through that, but helping people create life-changing wealth through real estate every single day. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if there's anything we can do to help. Audie, I appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Until next time, we gonna see.